Welcome back. You're listening to Home Wizards. I'm Cindy Dole.
Hey, I'm Eric Stromer.
And every year, as the new year approaches, we're always right on the top of things to find out what the upcoming trends are going to be for your home. For instance, the color.
Sure.
And there are these folks.
And the Pantone people.
So tell everybody, who are these Pantone people?
The Pantone people literally send folks out all around the world to look at fashion, automotive, tech, all things in terms of art,
politics,
pop art, politics, all the influencers that are out there that could potentially create what the new hot emerging color will be. They find that and they select it, and then they let everybody else know. And that becomes a thing you start seeing in fashion. So, for example, you're out there now shopping, and you start to see this trend toward. Last year, it was this orange. It was like an orangey color, and then.
So let's see.
You'll always see.
Last year was actually a deep tropical purple called Radiant Orchid.
Radiant Orchid.
The year before that was emerald green, and the year before that was tangerine tango.
Right.
And you'll see it like a car, and you go, "What the heck? Why is that green car on the freeway?
Right.
That's kind of a random color,
That's
right?"
Exactly right.
Or you'll see a blender that's in like this purple. Like, what the heck is that?
Yeah, and so it's no accident that these colors show up. It's very well studied and researched,
calculated,
and we're all influenced by what these folks end up coming up with. So
yeah, and
here it is. Are you ready? You want a drum roll?
Well, and I want to add one more thing, that the Pantone people, who are these kind of super spies on trends, they create a manual that is almost like the Bible of color trends, and it's not cheap. And so we don't have the full manual, but they sell it, I want to say, for tens of thousands of dollars.
That's right.
To like the auto manufacturing industry, or to certain, Kenneth whomever,
some designer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you'll go, wow. What is going on? So they save all the juicy nuggets for people who have exclusive access to the manual. But yes, you go ahead. What is the color of 2015?
The color for 2015 is, drum roll please.
Yes.
Marsala.
Marsala. Now, I use Marsala cooking. I don't drink it as a beverage.
No,
like
but
that
should give you an indication of the tonality of this color.
So it's kind of
almost like a
wineish red
with brown
overtones.
like
a burnt red in a way. It's not quite a brick, but it's not quite a burgundy.
Yeah, it's kind of
burgundy.
Right. It's kind of between brick color and a Merlot wine.
Yeah,
color.
And it's not like fire engine red, but
muted a little bit.
Muted, yeah. And so we're going to see this in clothing, but we're going to see this as something that will be really part of home design and housewares and consumer packaging. And so the people at Pantone are saying that this is a color that is hardy and robust and satisfying and fulfilling, or at least so they say. So I don't know if you feel those things by this color, but you're going to start seeing everything from like curtains and pillows, and it's going to be and maybe paint colors, right? You might want to paint a wall.
It'll start showing up on all the different TV shows, and every single place you look, you'll see it.
And even like in makeup, it's going to be kind of like a dark blush or lipstick. It's kind of like a brown red with blue undertones.
That's right.
And I don't know.
And if you don't like red, you better just go in your house for a year until next year.
Just hide.
Yeah.
Or maybe you can get a throw rug. I mean, the thing about these trendy colors that we always advise is going all trendy is not for everyone. It's something where you might want to just introduce a pop here or there. It might be just a vase.
Could be a throw pillow.
Or a piece of artwork that kind of speaks to it.
Tie, for example, in men's fashion.
Yeah.
Some kind of
just
feel.
Baby
Navy
steps.
blazer and a Marsala tie.
Yeah. Or maybe you paint just a fabric board, and that is a little piece of art on the wall.
Accent wall in the bedroom. Could create hot passion. I'm just saying.
I know. So speaking of makeup, it turns out that the cosmetic giant Sephora is planning a limited edition of beauty products based on Pantone.
We'll see. That's a very smart synergy, isn't it?
Isn't it? You know, and I'm sure there's going to be nail polish. Like OPI is a very popular nail polish. A lot of times you'll see they are right on the cutting edge of color of the year,
Yep.
But that's not the only color. So we wanted to share with you what else we are seeing as things to try and to think about, be open to for shades in your home in 2015. So
guess what's coming in the radar?
What is it?
You want to know?
Yeah.
Plum.
Plum is pretty.
Plum is pretty.
I prefer plum to Marsala.
I do
personally.
too. Now I could see plum in a nice dining room.
Yeah.
Maybe with some wainscoting below, crisp white, and then the plum wall on the top.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about eggplant.
No.
We're talking about plum.
It kind of has a more brown in it.
Yeah.
Right? It isn't as It isn't as deep.
Almost could be blueberry.
Yeah.
It's kind of between blueberry and eggplant. So, yeah, like a plum tone.
And if you were to have that maybe for a wall with kind of some white trim, some molding, and maybe some metallic gold.
Heck yeah.
It really feels
very,
rich.
Very tasteful. Rich.
Yeah.
You know what else is coming?
What's that?
Coral.
Coral sounds like...
Coral almost looks like the orange that we were talking about, tangerine, a couple of years ago.
This is just a little, very slightly different. It has definitely the light orange effect, not as vibrant as the tangerine, but this could work as a refreshing
nice laundry
splash.
Room. You know, that would be a good color for a laundry room or maybe a bathroom, I think. Will work out.
And by the way, what's interesting is while Pantone does this, all of the paint manufacturers, they come up, and you're going to start seeing when you go to the paint stores near you, whether it's, Behr Paint or Sherwin-Williams or fill in the blank, they'll say, well, this is our color of the year. And just you wait. They may not call it Marsala. They'll call it
like
sparkling wine.
Yeah,
they'll call it something else, but it'll be very similar.
I always thought I'd make a good namer.
You very
if I
creative.
Sat in a room in a company and they said, think up a name.
Think of some color names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bird, feather, wing, purple. How's that?
Very
That's not that good.
Sounds majestic.
I better stick with what I'm doing. By the way, Sherwin-Williams has a version of coral that's called Coral Reef, and that's number 6606 if you want to take a look at it, just so you know what we're talking about.
Okay. Yeah. Some other trends that we're seeing is we're going to be feeling a lot more of the bright primary hues. They're going to be seen more often, like, for instance, kind of a nice yellow. Now, we wouldn't be using all of these primary colors all at the same time, but maybe, let's say, in a bedroom, you'd have a wall or a wall and a half with some black and white accents for kind of a graphic
pop. That's right. The graphic aspect to it, I think, makes it work. If it's just too yellow, it ends up looking like, your grandma's thing from the 70s.
You're right.
But with this, where it is graphic, maybe some black and white photos, so, like a black wrought iron frame, and then that pop of yellow, that could work.
Right.
I think that's nice.
Other colors that we're going to be seeing, of course, the Marsala is going to be all over the place, but we can't forget greens. Everywhere, every year, there's always a shade of a green or a blue, and there's something by the Faro and Ball paint company.
That's good. They've got good colors.
I know
Those
you
are
love
some of my faves.
And this is something called leafy green, and it basically has, how would you describe it? It's kind of sagey. It feels very safe and calm. It's got its whole cue from nature. So
that's right.
It's something that's going to make you feel
the color of the forest.
Yeah,
very think about that.
Very nice. Not too deep.
Wait, Faro and Ball's there is. It's called breakfast room green. That's number 81 on their color chart. Take a look at that. Very pretty.
And speaking of Faro and Ball, they have another one that's kind of an earthy brown, and this feels kind of like almost like a chocolate, not like a mocha, I guess.
I don't want to brag, but I have this color already in my home. Yes,
Where?
I've had this for years, by the way.
Really?
I have had this color.
No. Which room?
Up in the bedroom. One of the walls is this color.
And see, I love how it looks so great with a pop of like black trim or black frames.
This, by the way, is a fantastic color. Just to kind of make you feel grounded and earthy. It doesn't get
cozy.
Get anxiety. It's good for a bedroom.
And there was like a white ceiling and white molding.
Yeah, if you have crisp trim around it, it's fantastic.
And this is called Tanner's Brown.
That's it.
Number 255.
Yep.
But you have that exact same one?
Yeah.
You little sneak.
Well, what can I tell you? I'm fashion forward.
And by the way, you have to mention the blue. There's something that's called, it's a nautical blue.
This looks great. I'd like to do this in my kitchen. I'm sick of my white cabinets.
Yeah, well,
I think it's time.
This is a little bit, has a kind of a nautical look. We just did our living room in navy.
Yeah.
And this has just a little bit more of a royal in there, but very lovely. I think you'd like it with the pop of white.
Great with gold leaf frames.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll put all this on the website, Colors for 2015. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole. Until next time, remember this, the key is under the mat.
Place the flowers in the vase.